Welcome back, my friends. In our nugget for today, we'll continue talking about marriage as the relationship between Christ and his church. Now, I don't know about you, but I actually love going to weddings. They're so much fun and romantic, and everyone is happy, everyone looks amazing, and is usually on their best behavior. Did you know that the average cost for a wedding in Canada in 2023 is around $30,000? And if you get married in a big city like Toronto or Vancouver, add another $10,000 to that price tag. According to various sources, couples spend money on venue and catering, photography and videography, wedding attire and beauty, music and entertainment, and also flowers. Weddings in ancient times are very different to what they are today. Firstly, there was a betrothal or engagement, often a year in advance to the actual wedding, and that's where families would agree on a price for the bride. A year later, the actual wedding celebration would take place over the span of a week typically. This celebration began by the bridegroom and his wedding party going to pick up his bride at her parents' house. The groom was usually dressed with the finest clothes and even wore a crown if he could afford it. When he picked up his bride at her house, they then proceeded in a parade to his house together with her friends and family. So the wedding celebration just kept getting bigger and bigger. The bride was usually adorned with many beautiful things like flowers and jewels. Once they got to the groom's house, his parents would say a blessing, and then the bride would be taken to a different section of the house, away from the groom, and together with her bridesmaids continue getting ready for the wedding feast the next day. The preparation of the bride was usually a costly and elaborate affair, and there were steps and rituals that she went through in order to be ready for the wedding ceremony. And normally weddings were such a big deal that the whole village was invited. The bride and groom didn't go on a honeymoon, but instead stayed in the groom's family home and settled into life there. In Ephesians 5:25-27, Paul uses the familiar imagery of a wedding to help the Ephesians understand what Christ did for his church, his bride, and how he showed that he gave himself for her. Normally, both bride and groom had different roles and preparations to take care of, but Paul states that firstly, Christ already loved his bride even before the marriage feast. He chose her. He paid the price for her. He prepared her. He got her the wedding garments of his righteousness. He took care of the wedding preparations, the procession, the giving away of the bride, the celebration, everything. He's got it covered. All the bride has to do is accept the betrothal and show up to the wedding feast. It's all taken care of. Will you accept Jesus' offer? That's our nugget for today. I'll see you tomorrow.